I just had to remember. Okay, like the channel, or no, subscribe to the channel, like the video. This is another one of our essential knots videos. So the knots are right out of the handbook for members. We've got 24 or so basic knots, although there are hundreds of knots. And this one is called the Lark's head. Sometimes called the cow hitch, but I'll show you the difference. So Lark's head is basically this knot. Right? So it's not really a knot. It's going to be a bend that comes back around the standing and running end of the knot of the rope, and it forms this little sort of double loop, side-by-side loop, and then it goes around an object and can be pulled tight. Right? That's a Lark's head knot. I wouldn't use this as a hitch because if you're pulling on the free end or standing end and it's not secured with a half hitch, it could collapse or come free. So this is the Lark's head, and there's a couple ways you can form that. You can find a bite. You put your thumb and forefinger in the bite, open them up a little bit, invert around the standing and free end or the two ends of the rope here, pinch the fingers back together, and then pull them out, and as you fold those two loops back on themselves, you've got a little Lark's head, and you can open that up. Okay? The Lark's head is used for attaching, so if I've got the end of this stick, I can make a Lark's head by folding the bite down, so it makes those two, I fold the bite down, so it makes those two side-by-side loops, and then folding them toward each other. Right, so I can make the Lark's head, or I can do that the previous way where I put the thumb and forefinger through, open, pinch, and pull them through to fold. And then I can put the Lark's head over the stick or object, and I've got it lashed down. That's a good starting point. Then I can use the two ends for a lashing or to secure this to another pole or something. The only difference in the cow hitch and the Lark's head is it's called a Lark's head when it's formed in the bite of a rope. That's a Lark's head. And when it's tied around an object with a single, like I go over the object, I come back around in front, cross over the standing end, go behind the object and over again, and then tuck that running end down behind that transverse or crossing part. And now I've formed the exact same knot, only I formed it from a single end over a pile or a post or something I'm hitching it to. Then it's called a cow hitch. And you can see how the two ends are kind of offset. You're going to want to attach that or secure that, back it up with a half hitch. Right? So you can take that free end, back that up with a half hitch. This is not a great hitch for anything you really want to put a lot of pressure under. But the only difference between the knot is just in the application. The cow hitch goes around an object, and you form the knot from a single strand, single end, running end, and then you could secure that with a half hitch. That would be your cow hitch. Or if you're just forming the knot in a bite in the rope by folding it over or using the fingers through, which is a little slicker, I guess, you get your Lark's head. One good application of a Lark's head is when I have the end of another rope. Let's say I'm tying, let me throw a stopper knot in this real quick. Let's say I'm tying a knot, I'm tying something up and I've run out of rope. I got a stopper knot in the end of this rope, just a double overhand stopper knot in the end of my brown rope. And I've run out of rope, or I want to attach another rope to that. I can form my Lark's head, slide that end of the brown rope through, and then secure that down on the brown rope so that it won't slide past that knot. And now I can continue with my cordage, kind of elongate that. Another thing, we'll do this in another video, you could use the Lark's head to attach a bunch of bank line in parallel descending double strands when you're about to tie those using a Lark's head and then a square knot and form a gill net or any kind of netting. That's kind of a longer video project, but the Lark's head is incredibly versatile. You can use the Lark's head. Another good use for the Lark's head is, let's say I've got a stopper knot in the end of each end of this little 6-foot piece of rope. I'll just throw a figure 8 stopper knot in the end of each and I need a way to secure something. So I'm going to make what's called a soft shackle. So I have the two stopper knots in the end. I come down to the farther end, the bite. I've doubled the rope. Create a lark's head. Wrap it around or secure whatever I need to with the two ends. Slide the stopper knots through that lark's head. Tighten it down. And now I've created a soft shackle to close the end of your tarp for like a tent door, or to maybe secure something when I'm towing it or pulling it out. I've just made a soft shackle, which is kind of like a carabiner, but like made out of rope. Obviously, don't trust your life to anything less than climbing rated cordage, but soft shackle, securing to another line, tying around a hitch. I use the lark's head making nets and different crafting and lashing structures. But that is the basic lark's head knot, one of your essential knots. Okay? You need to know that one. All right, check out the other knot videos, and then some of our more uses of knots videos. So you can see that out in the field. That's it.